crisis in Tigray has entered its fifth month with no clear end in sight. Unicef said concerns about the harm to the crisis will cause to children are now being realized. The United Nations Children's Fund reported destructions to the systems and essential service where children rely on, leading to 1.4 million children being out of school for more than a full year since March 2020. And according to assessments, violence and looting have left 25 out of 40 hospitals and 183 out of 224 primary health care facilities in the region non-functioning.
Disturbing reports have continued to emerge of widespread abuse of civilians in Ethiopia's Tigray region, nearly 6 months since conflict erupted, the UN Children's Fund said on Tuesday. The conflict is the result of months of escalating tension between the Ethiopian government and the dominant regional force, the Tigray People's Liberation Front, which culminated in Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed ordering a military offensive after rebels attacked a federal army base. James L., the UNICEF spokesperson, said there is no end in sight to the conflict after returning from a visit to the northern Ethiopian region.
More than 1 million people displaced, and everything I saw fighting continues. Access and security remain serious issues. UNICEF has been concerned from the onset about the harm this is going to cause children, and unfortunately such fears are being realised. We have a protection crisis. What is really emerging now is a disturbing picture of severe and ongoing child violations. There's also, unfortunately, an education and nutrition emergency, and I saw extensive destruction to systems and essential services that children rely on.
Elder said apart from the education crisis, the Tigray region is also in the grip of a nutrition emergency linked to palaging and the destruction of medical centers and costly irrigation system, which farming communities cannot do without.
The many children I spoke with, there was one girl who was 16, Merhawit, Merhawit. She had walked 300 kilometres with her baby brother on her back from the west of the country amid pretty intense fighting. That was 300 kilometres and in broken flip-flops. Those stories abound. She was, a star in physics, and now she's searching for food and hasn't seen a classroom in a year. We had a recent assessment in 13 towns and saw that more than half of boreholes are non-functional. Important to remember that these were really advanced systems supporting hundreds of thousands of people with generators and electrical circuitry all looted or destroyed.
The spokesperson also urged all those with influence on the military actors involved in the conflict to condemn rights abuses against civilians, saying severe and ongoing child rights violations have been reported by victims.
We have an average of 3 cases of reported gender-based violence. Remembering, of course, this is probably the tip of the iceberg because reporting is very, very difficult, both through transport, cost, security, and cultural elements of shame and so on. But yes, I heard traumatic stories of, children as young as 14. I heard reports of gang rapes, quite bewildering.
Within days, militias from the neighboring Amhara region had joined the fray, reportedly followed by some troops from the neighboring Eritrea, a long-time rival of Tigray. According to the government, the region had been secure by the end of November. However, TPLF resistance has continued amid accusation of extrajudicial killings and right abuses on all sides. According to the UNICEF report, from 1st January to 16 April, one health center has averaged 3 cases of reported gender-based violence per day. UNICEF is leading efforts to rehabilitate damaged water schemes, supply of water through truckings, and the provision of hygiene supplies. Through these efforts, more than 640,000 people have received safe water from personal use so far. For iAfrica